Welcome inside Chaska High School. It's Friday Night Hoops here on the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. Girls basketball for you here tonight on WatchCHBN.com and Chaska Community TV, channel number 14. For the first time, we're pleased to welcome on Chaska's very own Blake Herring, possibly the biggest Hawks fan I know.
I am the biggest Hawks fan.
Blake Herring on the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network tonight. Thanks for joining us tonight, sir.
Ryan, it is awesome to be here with the great Ryan Paul.
That's very kind of you, and we should have a good one tonight. Metro West Conference matchup. Tara Seifert's number 3 ranked and undefeated Chaska Hawks play host to Bloomington rival Jefferson. And Blake, Chaska looking to stay undefeated, go 6-0 here after having over a week to watch the rest of the MSHSL season fold out. They haven't played since 2 Tuesdays ago.
It's such a hard season, and they have answered the bell early. It is difficult when you are a really talented squad and you've had some lopsided games. How do you test yourself?
Yep, absolutely. Chaska will start with their usual starting 5 here tonight. It will be Mallory Heyer, Kaylee Van Epps, Kennedy Sanders running the guard, Kelsey Willems, as well as Kendall Carmen for Tara Seifert. Blake, the Hawks have routed pretty much everybody that they face this year. They're winning each game by an average of 40 points. If you're Coach Seifert, I mean, what's your message to your team week in and week out here as you're playing, some lower-end Metro West Conference teams when you know that come section playoff time, you're in one of the hardest sections in Class 4A?
Yeah, it is one of the toughest things, I think, to coach through when you have such a talented team and you haven't played the competition that needs to stretch your game. I know Tara, and I know Tara is never fully pleased with what's the art of the possible for the squad. There's always things to work on, letdowns. There's parts of the game that the team needs to get better. I expect them to continue to work on all elements tonight, especially rebounding and transition. That's going to be key in playoffs. Can they move the ball up the court? Can they close out on defense? All those basic fundamentals. It'll be fun to see what they can do tonight.
Hawks are scoring just under 80 points per night. They're holding teams do right around 35 points a night. I mean, in a high school situation, that's just unheard of. Is when you have such dominance, and
it's fun to watch.
It's partially just because they've played 5 conference games. But I mean, this is an extremely talented basketball team. They have 3 college commits, and one more likely coming.
Absolutely coming up. It's sad in the time of COVID that we don't have a packed gym for every game because this team is special.
Yep.
The talent on this team is special, but it's awesome for the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network and the work done here to bring this to the community. So, Brian, again, on behalf of Chaska and the surrounding area, thank you. This is fantastic what you do and what you build.
It's been my great honor. We were talking pregame, Blake. This has kind of been a silver lining of COVID. If you dare consider something a silver lining of COVID, that these games likely would not have been broadcast as they are right now, and we're happy that we're able to bring them to you here live on WatchCHBN.com. Again, I'm Ryan Paul, and joined tonight by Blake Herring here on the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. The Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars win the opening tip, wearing their all-white uniforms with Carolina blue trimming. Underneath, right away, Hannah Peters, the senior, throws up a hook shot. Rebound by Caroline Herman, the leading scorer for Bloomington Jefferson, averaging just over 11 per night. Out at the point is Abby Jo Nelson. She swings it around to Herman, and it's lost down on the block, and Kennedy Sanders comes away with it for Chaska. Sanders, the sophomore, stands 5'8", averaging just over 15 points per night. Season high 19 against Chanhassen a couple weeks ago. She has it on the far side wing now, guarded by Emily Roach, junior for Jefferson. It's a long 3 by Willems, and it's rebounded by Carmen. Loose ball on the floor, scrap for it, and Kaylee Van Epps gets tied up with the Jaguars' number 23, Angelina Chappelle. Check that, it's actually Abby Jo Nelson, and the alternating possession sends it Chaska's way.
Like to see Kelsey firing that 3 right away, no hesitation, open look. She needs to shoot that. It's a good look.
Inbound for Chaska, right down low. Kaylee Van Epps, the Lehigh commit, has it in the opposite side corner. Dishes it out for Willems. Down low for Heyer.
This is 2.
And it's good. I mean, Blake, we talk about a talented team. Let's talk about talented players. Mallory Heyer, top 5 in her class.
Yeah, it's so fun to see Mallory play, and her going to University of Minnesota here a couple years, Coach Whalen's got herself a winner.
Absolutely
And
so.
She's the work ethic, the passion for the game, so much fun to watch. Here's something you may not know about Mallory. Her freshman year running track, she was one of the fastest kids I've ever seen. She just, and it shows when you see her get up and down the court.
Go figure. She's obviously a all-conference volleyball player in the fall time, and now one of the top players in the state here come winter time in basketball. Back down the other end, Emily Roach drives, steps outside, jacks up a three, and it's good. Bloomington Jefferson takes the lead here 2 minutes in on Emily Roach three-pointer. Head coach for the Jags, Paul Roach, in his second year as the head coach, third in the program, actually joined from the Bloomington Jefferson traveling program. Not something I think you'd see very often in the high school arena, where a coach comes on from the youth program. But it's the case in Bloomington Jefferson, and Coach Roach in his third year with the Jefferson varsity program. Emily Roach now has it on the near side, dishes into the corner for Nelson. Nelson down low for Caroline Heeman. Back up top for Roach. Down low, Peters. Outside once again. Jefferson resets. Kaylee Van Apps outside. Face guarding Roach. Hard screen set down there, and there's a foul.
You might see a walk there.
Yeah.
Got her on the hand.
Foul called on Van Epps.
Team looks a little sluggish.
Yeah, I would agree.
They're, at least in the paint, they're playing behind Jaguars. They're not fronting, but they are playing man-to-man, which is typical for Tara. As it's my favorite way to play defense.
It's interesting because you don't see this very often. Chaska hasn't played in 2 Tuesdays, since 2 Tuesdays ago, and
the drive,
Sanders to the hole, but I mean, it would make sense for this Chaska team to come out a little sluggish, considering they haven't played in over 10 days. Right. And we have a violation against Jefferson, turning the ball back over to the Hawks. But it's very rare to see that big of a gap in high school sports. But Tara Seifert had a couple weeks to work on with her team, and they resume conference play here on this Friday night, frigid Friday night.
It is a cold one.
In early February, and Kendall Carmen will go to the free throw line for 2 free throws as she's hacked by Abby Jo Nelson. Young team for the Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars. 11 sophomores on the roster, only 2 seniors. See a lot of youth out there for Coach Roach tonight. First free throw for the junior Carmen is good, averaging just over 5 per contest through 5.
You noticed, Ryan, as soon as they made their last basket, they jumped right into their press. So it looked like that was called from the bench before the game.
Something we saw, we've done 2, I believe, girls games so far, and we definitely saw it in the Chan game. Even as the game, became further out of reach for the Storm, Chaska continued to apply the pressure, and I think that's something that just, even regardless of, what the intensity of the games you're going to be playing in, it's just good to have that kind of preparation because, as we mentioned, Chaska has one of the toughest non-conference schedules in the state, and then eventually with 2 4A playoffs, will face one of the toughest postseason schedules in the state.
It is something when you start off a little sluggish, you cannot play sluggish by being in a press.
Right.
And it forces you to pay attention all over the court, and it forces you to move. There you go.
Down low,
nice shot, Kendall.
Carmen for 2. 4 minutes and change here into the first half. Welcome if you're just joining us on the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. I'm Ryan Paul, joined tonight by Blake Herring, and it's Friday Night Hoops here, Blake, and it's great to have you on. Thanks for coming on as we're 4 minutes in exactly here into this basketball game.
The only place I might rather be is Tampa this weekend. This is a treat to be here, Ryan.
Yeah, if you are not familiar with Blake's passion for the Kansas City Chiefs, you will be by the end of tonight, I'm sure.
It may come up.
It's a big weekend for you, and I can't blame you. Obviously, Super Bowl champions last year, looking to go 2 for 2, or 2 in a row, I should say, with a win on Sunday. Here's Carmen down low, and she's grabbed by Simone Clay, the junior, who just came in.
What made that play and that foul for Carmen, as soon as the ball came in, the defender on the wing, 25, came down to help close and double team Kendall, and she moved her foot. She pivoted, she made it difficult, got the foul.
Down low, right off the inbound, higher for a pair.
It's going to be tough for Bloomington to stop Mallory. on the block. They just don't seem to have the size or the speed to match up with her. It's going to be difficult for them. Good look.
Far side wing from Emma Felt, the sophomore. No good. It's safe to argue, Blake, that I think Chaska might have the most versatile lineup in at least the conference, if not the class. You have Kaylee Van Epps, who can play both down low and outside. Mallory Heyer, who can pull up from outside, even with her size and power down low. And Chaska is just all around a very, very well-suited squad to face kind of any defense or anything that an opponent can throw at them.
I think it's a testament to the style that Tara plays with a lot of transition basketball, that you really got to fill the court and you've got to be able to move. And it's less about just running a 4 or a 5.
Right.
And I think the players grew up with that. That's a lot of their youth program, and AAU basketball is that same way. So it's that depth and that versatility is certainly an asset for Chaska.
Talking with Chaska Herald sports editor Eric Krauscher in the game that we did a couple weeks ago, as well as Mike Schmidt, as Clay hits a 3 from the near side. Something that Chaska's had going for them the last few years when they've been so dominant is the fact that they can go so deep and get so many players on their roster in the game.
Pass.
Down low, higher for 2. You just can't defend that.
No, you just can't unless you double team it, and then it's going to leave other players open for Chaska.
As I was saying, it's something that Tara has to her advantage. She can, Mallory Heyer's been playing since she was in 8th grade. Sanders has been playing since she was in 8th. 7th grade.
She came up to play high school ball as a 7th grade.
I mean, you just do not hear of that anywhere else. And Chaska's just had a luxury of being able to bring up young talent and get them in the games early.
It is a great basketball community for sure.
Absolutely is.
I think that's one of the advantages when you have played a schedule so far that's been, we'll just say, easy for the Hawks, is that it should give some opportunities for some of the younger players to get in and build a little bit more depth, that if they get into a tough game down the stretch and they get into foul trouble, they're going to need to rely on that a little bit.
Nelson checks back in. It'll give Heyman and Peters a chance to sit.
Sanders is a Minnesota Fury AAU player, and is highly, highly regarded, and has just been intense. Such a hard work ethic throughout her career so far, and she's got a lot of playing time left to go.
Absolutely does.
Fun to watch.
Only a sophomore, already averaging 15.2 per night, and you said it. You said it. She's very highly regarded, and we've seen it in a couple games as Clay throws up another 3. It's no good.
It's good look though by Clay, 25.
We've seen that. I mean, Sanders, as she's driving here. I mean, talk about no fear.
Look at that.
That's a phenomenal basketball play from the 5'8" sophomore.
You know what I see with her is just like Rachel Bonham and Lindsay. I mean, it's body control when she drives. So it's maintaining some balance and not just being out of control until when she can get in the lane. She's the smallest player in the lane, but is able to get the ball off the board.
Chaska will get the ball back here on the baseline as Carmen will check out and Van Epps will return to the floor. Ashley Schulke, the sophomore, is in the game for Coach Seifert now, and she played last year as well, Blake. Just another example of young talent starting early for Chaska. Senior Kayla Hendrickson cross-court pass to Van Epps on the baseline. She's shut down though. Returns it outside for her point guard. Down low, Heyer is fouled on the baseline going against Angelina Chappelle.
So as I coach, if I have playing it against a player like a Mallory Heyer, there's only one rule that you can do, and that's to deny her the ball.
Right.
She gets the ball down in the paint. Unless you double team her, she's going to kick it out. The thing with Heyer, just like that, she pops out, hits the 3. It's fun to watch.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
And look at that pressure on the.
Being multifaceted. It's just we've said it all year long. She can do it all, and she's going to be a pretty darn good basketball player for the University of Minnesota and beyond. So,
how cool was it to be a Minnesotan and see her tweet, "I'm staying home."
Yep.
It was a great. It was fun to see.
Chaska obviously has 2 more current college commits on the roster. Kelsey Williams going to Augustana, and Kaylee Van Epps headed to Lehigh, but. Soak it up while you can, Chaska fans. You're not going to be able to watch. You're not going to be able to watch this group of girls play together for much longer. Obviously, they all are going to have excellent careers as they continue their post-high school basketball days. But This is a kind of team that you don't see come together very often. This Kayla Hendrickson, or I'm sorry, Van Epps gets called for the foul down low.
Probably, I think that's her second, isn't it, on Van Epps?
We will find out, and yes, I do believe it is. Yes, it is.
Trivia, Ryan.
Go for it.
She's going to Lehigh.
Nope.
Lehigh is what's the mascot? The Mountain Hawks.
You're right.
The Mountain
I
Hawks.
remember you saying that before the game.
Located in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Can't put me on the spotlight. Come on.
See, this is my first time I'll never get invited back. Here comes Anna Lenza checking in the game.
Yep.
I'll tell you, I'm not sure there's a player that's worked harder this offseason than Anna. Playing for Fury for AAU, but always working on her game. I even saw some pictures during COVID in the fall when times were shut down. They've got a little barn hoop.
Yep.
Anna working hard on her game. She's a good kid.
She's in the game now for Tara Seifert, and Kendall Carmen will check back in as kind of nonchalantly under our radar. Kennedy Sanders drove to the hole and drew an and one, and Chaska quickly up 18 here with 10:46 to go.
Lily Neubauer also in the game for the Hawks.
Here comes Bloomington Kennedy off the miss.
Good move.
Clay pulls up from the elbow, no good.
Rebound, Lily. Oh, let's save the pass.
Great job to keep it in by Kennedy Sanders. As Chaska will have a chance to come down and make it a 20-point game now. Down low, Carmen.
Good pass. Good catch.
Fighting through contact for two.
Just good body control by Carmen.
Carmen, one of those players that doesn't probably get enough credit for the role that she plays on this team, Blake, is she doesn't score a whole lot, but she definitely has a presence out there for Chaska.
Well, every player's got an important role. I'll tell you what, she may not get a lot of points, but she's a banger.
Yep.
Works hard on defense, gets boards, and at practice, she's pushing Mallory up and down the court.
Down low, Nibar traveled with it to the baseline official, and it's a turnover. One of the first for Chaska so far tonight, as Kelsey Wilton will check back in and give Kennedy Sanders a breath of fresh air. I want to thank you for tuning in tonight, wherever you're watching from. Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. Watch chbn.com or Chaska Community Cable, Channel 14. Always you can watch tonight's telecast. I'm Ryan Paul, founder of CHBN, with first-time CHBN contributor Blake Herring tonight.
First-time contributor, long-time fan.
Absolutely. Well, we've known each other, now for a couple years, and I must say, ever since I met you, your sense of pride of this community is off the charts, and that's, I think, a testament to the kind of community that we've built here. Down low, Lenzen can't get it to fall. Whistle, and sounds like she was fouled. Lenzen did draw the foul, and it'll be Chaska ball on the baseline.
Well, we are blessed in this community, Ryan. It's not only a great community for youth sports and high school, and having Chanhassen just down the street, and but good families. Great place to raise a family,
right.
And be proud to be here.
Yep, and it's definitely. Quality small town, I believe, is the motto of Chaskin. It's not much of a small town anymore, but you definitely get that feel. It's a great place to live, and Anna Lenzen, the Lenzen family, no more Chaskin than anybody else. More Chaskin than anybody else. Obviously, proud sponsors coming up here. Lenzen Chevrolet Buick. Make sure you check them out. Jeff Lenzen, been a great supporter of the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network throughout the years. Over and back here as Rachel Hall stepped over the line.
That's a tough break there for the senior. Rachel Hall, I found out before the game, is going to study elementary education and psychology.
Great.
Uncommitted yet on where she wants to study, but great pursuits there for those two degrees.
Excellent, yes. Obviously,
pass.
Yes, great move by Heyer for two. Obviously, a little bit of a different year for a lot of seniors both this year and last year, as Coach Paul Roach calls a timeout, and it gives us our first chance to step aside here on the Chaska Hawks Broadcast Network. Watch chbn.com. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Chaska High School. Hawks versus Jaguars here on Friday night. Say, folks, next Tuesday on CHBN, Fox Sports North, Marnie Gellner is joining myself for a matchup between two of the top teams in the Metro West. Chaska hosts Cooper in some girls basketball. Tune in just before 7 p.m. for our pregame show featuring one and only Marnie Gellner for complete live coverage of the Chaska Hawks versus the Cooper Hawks, 7 p.m. That's this upcoming Tuesday on WatchCHBN.com. Going to be a lot of fun to have Marnie Gellner from Fox Sports North here on CHBN.
That is the professional squad right there next Tuesday. I mean, that's a big coup, and nobody better in the business than Marnie.
Yes.
It is nice for you to have amateur hour tonight to set the bar low enough to have Marnie come in and show what this is really like. But that'll be a fun broadcast, and I hope everyone in the surrounding area joins in, because that'll be cool to see.
It'll be fun to watch, and it's luckily for us, it's one of the better games that we're going to see here in this conference season. As Robbinsdale Cooper has a very strong
squad.
team, yeah,
and has had some good battles the last couple of years with Chaska, and it's important this team starts to get tested a little bit.
Yep, and it's a great point. Like you said, like we said earlier, Chaska has one of the toughest non-conference and section schedule in the class, and
Travel there.
it'll be great. In the corner, Nelson.
I expect, we haven't seen it yet here. I expect that when they come back on defense, Jefferson probably goes back to his zone just because they're getting beat so badly inside.
Pressure.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Pressure in the corner applied by Hire is all I was going to say, and the ball goes out of bounds. But I would agree that
We'll see what happens.
Jefferson will probably drop back. Inbound coming here from Abby Jo Nelson, the 5'9" sophomore. Stolen by Anna Lunzen in the backcourt. Up with it, and
Good
gets the
job,
basket.
Anna.
7:30 to play here. Lunzen nearly a steal right off the bat on the press, and Kennedy comes back, or Jefferson rather, comes back down. Caroline Heeman.
Good read by 33 on that pass.
In the corner, Courtney Anderson, the sophomore, misses her three. Here comes Sanders, who's
for
back
two.
into the game. Higher for a pair. Just
When they're running, it's fun to watch.
It certainly is. And this game is quickly, we've seen it all year long with Chaska, winning on it by an average of almost 40 per game and holding teams to a 35-point limit. The Hawks held the other Bloomington team, Kennedy, to 11 points in a game. I mean, these are just numbers that you just don't see a lot of, and it's been fun to watch, but obviously Chaska, as you said earlier, Blake, will need to be tested here soon, and they will get that next Tuesday. Jump ball to call here.
Key for the Hawks when it's a blowout like this or such a large lead is not to get sloppy and really to pay attention to the fundamentals. And when you play sloppy, you get hurt too.
Right.
And that's something that you really don't want to see. There we go.
Higher fouled on the second chance, and I think even when you're up in games like this, as Chaska is early on here, it provides for a lot of good coaching moments, for especially for a quality, a coach that's been around as much as Coach Seifert has, and there will be a lot of moments that Chaska can be, even with the fact that this game is not going to go into overtime presumably, or going to be a nail biter down the stretch. Chaska will still be able to watch film on this game, Blake, and come back and learn a lot from this kind of a matchup and say, what can we improve on? Because obviously, a good coach like Coach Seifert is going to be able to find things like that, as you mentioned in the pregame.
This is the first game at home for the Hawks where they are spread out a little bit on the bench.
Right, yep.
In past games, they've had the bleachers out, and
they've had the end bleachers collapse so they can sit on the baseline there.
Right.
Yeah, that was a switch made by athletic director John Summer. When was that? Earlier this week when Chaska hosted Hopkins in the boys game.
we talk about Chaska blessings. I don't know how many years John's been here, but what a job he's done as athletic director, and creates such wonderful opportunities for these student athletes. And it's a joy to be able to work with him on the youth basketball side, and he's really an asset for the community.
I would say you and I both have a very good understanding of what it's like to work with Mr. Summer. He's I can't say. I mean, I've said it before, but I really can't say enough about all that he's done for me and this broadcast network. It's just been phenomenal. And you're exactly right to say that he is a Chaska blessing. So it's good to see him in attendance here tonight. Obviously, the boys are off tonight.
Mallory intercepting the pass.
Just athleticism. I mean, there's
And
so many
instinct.
words. There's so many words you can use to describe her.
Dardis.
Lucy Dardis for 3 from the corner.
No
First time we've
hesitation.
seen her tonight, and she
Nice shot
buries
by
her
the junior.
first opportunity. Emma Felt dumps it down low for Roach. She's outside with it now. Going up with it through contact. Looked like Carmen was straight up, but the whistle is called.
They called on Dardis, I think.
And they will get Dardis. Yes, I would agree with you on that. Dardis is first, and Roach will head to the free throw line for 2 for Chaska. First time we will see Jessica Hare enter tonight. Is very,
6'6",
very,
just higher.
very, very big body out there. Down low. I mean, sometimes you'll see 6'6" in boys basketball here in high school, but very rarely do you see that kind of size in girls high school basketball. And she fills up all of her 6'6".
She does.
Too, yeah.
She is another player that, if you watched over the years, has worked really hard on her game to improve and footwork, her presence down on the paint.
Hare off the glass, no good. Rebound by Chappelle, and Jefferson comes away with it. Here comes Simone Clay, who will reset for the Jags. Down low, Chappelle. No, check that. It's actually Heeman. Jefferson's leading scorer as a sophomore. Clay driving against Sanders, throws up an air shot. I don't think this is going to count, and they will call a travel. Good mix of Chaska starters tonight so far, and then bringing in the bench. I think Coach Seifert's probably, what is she? Already 9 deep, and it's been very good to see Chaska going deep so far here with 4:36 to play in the first half.
And we were talking about John Sommer a minute ago. Just think of all of the work that COVID has brought in planning and protocol, safety, coordination with the other schools. It is, I know from our youth program how much effort it takes. We just had a tournament here a couple weeks ago. I know it's a frustrating time for many, but it also gives you the opportunity to be reflective and thankful for all those individuals that bring this to light. And for think of these seniors, the chance for them to get to play and compete and finish their career as Chaska Hawks on the floor is really a great opportunity.
We really got a sense of it in the fall for football season. If you joined us here on CHPN, we had all the Chaska Hawks home games. Actually got a great chance to talk to Mr. Summer at halftime of, I believe it was I want to say it was the Orno game. He came out at halftime, and we had a great interview with him. And really can't say enough. Sanders, phenomenal defensive play.
Yeah.
Just snatching the ball as she goes Euro step and one. What a possession for Kennedy Sanders. Wow.
Getting some love from her teammates. They love that. So if you're a youth player watching tonight and you see Sanders steal, what made that steal was that she got the ball low on the Jefferson player driving the basket. She got it when she was down low, so it's an easier play. You're going to get the foul called when you're trying to swipe it away on the shot. And Kennedy with the athleticism and movement to take it all the way up and down the court.
Violation, I believe it was on Chaska's Dardis for stepping into the free throw arc, or the three-point arc too early. Speaking of youth basketball, just saw Chris Reineke earlier tonight. You want to talk about another Chaska blessing? Chris Reineke's really been another Chaska blessing. She's been great to me for sure, and we do appreciate her watching tonight. I know she's at home right now, tuned in to this one, and with a 39-8 score here from Chaska High School, we'll step aside momentarily, be back in 60.
Be in a group setting.
Back at Chaska High School. Kennedy wanted to try the old switch the inbounder play, but obviously you can't do that on a designated spot inbound. So they get the ball in anyway, but Emma Felt has it down low for Chappelle. Chappelle tried to turn around, but it didn't go. And Kennedy, a serious scoring drought here, still in single digits with only 8 points. Hendrickson, the right-handed floater, that was just a bit heavy. Kennedy comes away. Emily Roach is stopped up short, though. Anderson never got a chance for a shot as she was fouled on the floor.
So my nickname for Kayla when I coached her in 8th grade was Dr. K, which is an old school reference, Ryan. I don't know if you know the great Dr. J, but Kayla has some creativity that compares to me for little Dr. J, and I love watching her play. She's always got a smile, working hard, and when she drives to the basket, she's got such length in her game that it
absolutely
really helps her out.
Another one of those players for Coach Seifert that you won't see in the score sheet too often, but she's very active on the floor for sure. I've been impressed by that so far this season from Hendrickson. Felt the basket for Bloomington Jefferson, ending their scoring drought and finally getting them to the 10-point mark.
Kayla is undecided for college. She's a senior. She is looking at St. Thomas and University of Minnesota Carlson School, maybe St. Ben's. I tried to get a St. Olaf in there, but I don't think that's going to work for she's not interested. But she's a bright young lady, and it's been fun knowing the Hendrickson family.
Her brother Seth is a Tommy, I believe, if I'm not mistaken about that, I believe. Here she is from the wing for three and buries it.
Just on cue, right?
Just on cue.
I know her grandparents are watching tonight, so Dave and Bernie, Kayla wanted to give a shout out to you as well as Sister Morgan. They're probably watching live right now, and very proud, I'm sure, of Dr. K.
Great to see her bury the three from the wing as we go under 2 minutes here. Good defense on this one from Hendrickson and forces an awkward shot in the empty possession from Jefferson. Here comes Higher coast to coast, going to dish it outside for sophomore Sanders, who takes the paint. Outside now for Dardis, down low for Higher.
Jefferson staying in that man-to-man. This is good. There you go. Nice footwork.
Higher against Chappelle. They're going to call a travel, though. Oh, no, they call a foul on the floor.
I think she kept her
I would agree with you.
Yeah.
I was going to be a little surprised by that call, and they get it right, and they call a foul on the floor.
That's an example of how much Jess has worked on her game, though. Just to see her take that ball left to right and keep her strong pivot foot, that shows a lot of improvement from a couple years ago.
She'll exit here for the Hawks. Nope, she'll come back in now.
She's
got to shoot. They call it actually a shooting foul. I thought they called it on the floor, but we are in this double bonus, which is the reason for that. And Never will have to wait to check in. There was a little confusion there as we are in the double bonus. Again, if you're just joining us for Friday Night Hoops here on CHBN, I'm Ryan Paul, joined by Blake Carey. We have 87 seconds left here in the first half between Chaska and Jefferson. Hawks out to a commanding first half lead. And
that's one Travis Kelsey to halftime.
You also count in players' numbers. My little brother,
good entry
great
pass.
Entry pass. Yes,
great
absolutely.
pass by Carmen. That just was in a perfect spot.
Going back to that point, my little brother used to count by NASCAR drivers. He was so into NASCAR.
Really?
Denny Hamlin was number 11, and whenever he associated 11, he would always say Denny Hamlin. It was just.
Was this Matthew?
This was Nicholas. No,
Nicholas.
The younger one. He's a freshman.
All right. Well, if I'm you, I'd watch it when he's 16 and he's got his driver's license.
It's coming up. Permit is just over a month away, so it's coming up very shortly. Under a minute here, Chaska.
Well, when he puts 11 or 3 or whatever number he's going to do on the side of the car, you might want to hide the keys.
Yeah, that's good stuff. 45 ticks left here first half. Abby Jo Nelson outside dishes it away for sophomore Courtney Anderson. Back down low on a lunge in the steal.
Good position on defense, Anna. Sanders pulls back.
From the elbow, buries it. No problems for Kennedy Sanders tonight.
Tell you what, pay attention this summer for AAU ball and look for her and all the accolades she's going to see on Twitter. You'll see her name a lot.
Clay, another 3. Sanders' name runs deep here in Chaska, obviously. Older brother Peyton played football for Chaska, star football player. Now Braden Sanders going to be presumably the football quarterback next year, and Kennedy, a sophomore, playing a big role here. His hair is fouled. She took a swat to the face from Simone Clay, and with a 1/10 of a second left, she's going to get a chance to shoot some free throws. Second foul against Clay, and with 1/10 of a second left in the first half, Chaska with a chance to go into halftime with 50 points on the board.
That is, I can't remember the last time I've seen clock stop at 1/10 of a second.
I can tell you, Tuesday.
Overtime?
Yes, into overtime. We had a 1/10 of a second left. But before that, I would also agree. I cannot remember the last time I saw that. No good on the front end for Hire.
Tough loss for the Hawks against Hopkins, but what a game.
Chaska girls will face the Hopkins Royals. Clock should have started, but never did. And we reach halftime. 48-13 the score, Blake. Hawks commanding the Jags into halftime. First half thoughts.
Well, I don't know if we're surprised just because of the talent and depth in this Chaska team. And, the thing to watch in either the first half or as we come back in the second half, when you're leading by so much and you're clearly a more talented team, you don't want to get sloppy, but the sloppiness can bring bad habits, and the bad habits can stay with you. And that's the thing, that's the hardest thing to coach through, and it's the hardest thing to play through, because often you hear the phrase, you play up or down to your competition. That's the hardest challenge for these Hawks right now. They're such a good squad, talented squad. They can make a really deep run, but they got to keep pushing themselves.
We'll be back in just under 10 minutes for the final 18 minutes of basketball here from Chaska High School. You're watching Hawks girls basketball on CHBN.
48-13.
We are back at the Purple Palace, and it's just ready to get underway here in the second half. Ryan, Paul, Blake Herring with you. Blake, it's like we said before we went to break, not exactly a surprise that Chaska's on top by such a margin tonight, but it's good to see that Chaska able to handle Jefferson in the first 18 minutes, and hopefully for the Hawks they can keep it up in the second half and hopefully build on that first half lead.
Something to appreciate about Jefferson, it's hard when you're playing against a really good team and the score is as lopsided as it is. But you know what? You see really positive faces, and Bloomington working hard and trying to get better and not getting frustrated with what's really a tough game, obviously.
That's a testament to Coach Paul Roach in his second year at the helm for Jefferson, rather. I would agree with you that a lot of teams when you get down this far will
get frustrated,
kind of pack it in. Yep.
And you see it behaviorally and temperament and then kind of effort. But I'm not seeing that from Jefferson. All the credit to them.
Sanders' steal on the dump pass was unsuccessful.
What a pass.
It's a higher right off the bat.
Okay, I could watch that all day.
I mean, we've seen it, what is that, the fourth time that it's gone Sanders to higher for two tonight? It's can't stop it. Two very talented players for the Hawks.
Two Fury AAU players that really know the game, and it is fun to see Kennedy. She's got such great vision on the court. She knows certainly how to get to the hole and score, but her vision and ability to pass. The thing to watch this spring is I expect that she'll get a lot of pressure from the opposing defenses when they play some really tough teams, and that's going to drain her. So it's got to be her energy level, and another nice pass by Van Epps.
Sanders and higher. Well, you finish that point.
Well, the thing to watch with Kennedy is because she's such an important cog to this offense and to this team. Got to stay out of foul trouble, and how she manages her energy throughout the game, that'll be fun to watch here, and a good challenge for her throughout the rest of the season. Such a great player.
Higher was, I absolutely agree with you. And Higher was fouled as she drove, and Mallory Higher, the leading scorer in that first half for Chaska with 13 points. Not far behind her was Kennedy Sanders, who we've seen have at least 3 or 4 assists. He was just higher tonight so far. And
so Coach Whalen not only is landing Mallory, but also has Nia Holloway and Mara Braun.
Right.
And it's fun to see some of these great players in Minnesota staying home and wearing the maroon and gold.
Yep, and it's I think Coach Whalen in what is this, her third, fourth, fifth maybe year, definitely is done a great job of that.
Boom! Diggs.
Willems for 3. So it's a 40-point lead, Blake, and Coach Seifert's not new to this. The Hawks win by an average of just around 40 points per game through their first 5 games, but
it's healthy.
It's yes, it's good to not have to be pulling your hair out at the end of the game, but obviously playing tougher competition helps teams grow, and I mean these games also do that as well. But if you get to a point where you need to play some tough competition, and Chaska will see that next Tuesday with Cooper, and the only other undefeated team in the Metro West Conference. So.
Yep. Again, when it's a game like this, watch their effort. Watch if their fundamentals stay solid, or if they start to get a little lazy on defense, footwork, etc. Because that's what bad habits will bring, and something to avoid for sure.
Jefferson driving. It is. It's Caroline Heeman, Jags' leading scorer. 11
Just a sophomore.
Yes. As we mentioned in the first half, 11 sophomores on Coach Roach's roster. Only 2 seniors.
Squad.
Yes, very young.
Oh, good backdoor. My favorite play in basketball right there, Ryan.
Van Epps, the
great
finish.
Cut. Great vision by her.
I mean, this is, I think, as we said, we've done maybe 2 girls games so far this year. This is probably the best game that I've seen them play all together as a team collectively. And they mesh so well together. It's just so fun to watch.
Well, and hopefully they're on a crescendo, right? You want to build every week, and you're not always going to have every basket fall, but it's fun to see them continuing to perform at the level they should be.
Something interesting about this Chaska.
Look at that pass, Carmen.
Who'd that remind you of? Say Mahomes.
I think Patrick Mahomes right there. That's Good plug.
It's an interesting one though, as I was going to say. Chaska, a lot of teams when they have so much talent, there's so much talent, but there's only one ball to go around. We even saw it on Tuesday in the boys game. Hopkins had so much talent, so much size, but there's only one basketball to go around.
Yeah.
There's just not that problem on this Chaska team. Everyone knows how to play their role. Everybody knows what the team needs to do to win, and you just have no problems as Kennedy Sanders comes up with yet another steal here. What an athletic play to keep that from going out of bounds.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute, because when you have a team as talented as this, and you have a team that plays AAU basketball, and you have a team that's got college level at the D1 level capabilities, it is not hard for egos to come into play.
Right.
And I think that's really what makes this team special.
Right.
Because it would be easy for this team to get disrupted by, I need my points.
Right.
I need my points to show my college coaches or who I'm getting recruited
Right.
by. And I think that's what is going to prove to be such a winning characteristic of the squad, because they're okay with what's the end result, which is to win the games and perform as well as they are.
I think that's a great point. Not only about the 10 girls, or however many play on an average basis, but to Coach Seifert as well, who's been here now almost 15 years. She's almost been here, and I mean, it's very easy, as you said, for teams to get complacent in blowout games, but also to get selfish, for lack of a better term, in games like this where you can run up the score on a team like this. But Chaska just doesn't care about that. They care about winning the game and getting better collectively as a team.
Well, it's one of the reasons why this is one of my favorite sports, because you don't have to have the most talented team. And
Right.
in fact, many times the most talented or athletically gifted team doesn't win. It's the team that plays together, can finish each other's plays and know where they're going to be and how they work together. They can overcome a lot by having great chemistry. And that starts with checking your egos at the door.
Something that the Hawks team does very well is Hannah Peters for Jefferson has it outside, and she swings it over for Simone Clay, the junior, who had 2 3-pointers in that first half for a Jefferson team high.
Yep.
Offensive foul against Emma Felt, the sophomore.
It's tough when you got Kelsey swarming all over you and it's hard to dribble. She tried to create a little bit of space, just got called with the push-off.
Kelsey Willems runs the point for the majority of the time when Sanders doesn't. And she's also another one of those players who, she's only averaged just under 5 points a game this year, but she is a quality defensive player.
Well, I had the fortune to coach her in 8th grade, and I know how hard she works. I will tell you, every time that we were talking about something on the court of practice, eyes locked in, she's a joy to coach. What ball movement right there by the Hawks.
Van Epps to Sanders, making it look far too easy.
Augustana Vikings got a winner with Kelsey. I know she is really going to do great things for that program, and really as a student, she's interested in pre-med.
Yeah.
Just proud of her. She's a great young lady.
Out on the other end after the Jaguar bucket, Hendrickson in the corner for her second 3 of the game. Big bucket by Chaska Senior.
Nice shot, Dr. K.
Even from the free throw line.
Kelsey told me what she's going to, when I said, so you're studying pre-med, that's what you're interested in. What part of medicine interests you? And she said cardiothoracics.
Interesting.
So I'm looking for a breakdown on what that is, Ryan.
You're going to have to go ask the next guy about that, or ask Google. That's beyond my pay grade. Down low, Van Epps no good on the first, but she's fouled. Yes, she is. She'll go for 2 free throws. Cardiothoracics, you said?
Cardiothoracics.
I don't know. Maybe a CHBN viewer.
Well, yeah. In fact, I got one. So one of my former players, Aaron O'Keefe, is studying medicine at Drake University, senior this year. I know she's watching tonight. Maybe she can text me on what cardiothoracics is all about.
Yeah. Let us know, because we are not sure. 12.5 to go here, and Van Epps is back at the free throw line. Chaska, 12 minutes and 30 seconds to go, already at 70 points. Something that we don't really, it happened last time. I think Mike Schmidt and I were calling the game, and Chaska got out to a I think quick 60 point, has quick 60 points in the second half. And we're like, when did that happen? Chaska just makes it look so easy, putting up 70 points in 25 minutes of a basketball game.
So our youth teams all have tournaments tomorrow. We're playing in Shakopee and in Jordan.
Yep.
But I hope they're watching the game. And when they watch, one of the things, being able to watch this on your broadcast, is you can hone in on a player and you can see what makes her special. So watch Kaylee Van Epps work on defense. Look at, she always got an eye side of the ball. She's always in the right position. She closes out. When you watch her man-to-man, she doesn't cross her feet. Yep. She's got so many strong fundamentals, and I know that's what I'm sure excited the Lehigh coach and brought her into Bethlehem, Pennsylvania next year as a Mountain Hawk.
She dumps down low for Heyer, who is fouled, and goes to the free throw line as Van Epps retrieves the basketball from the baseline. And Mallory Heyer, Kaylee Van Epps, and Kelsey Williams, I was going to say, Augustana commit. All of the three that are committed right now for Chaska, but obviously you have Kennedy Sanders, who
she's going places.
She'll play somewhere for somebody and
she's going
make
places.
A coach very happy somewhere. And moving forward, it wouldn't surprise us to see some more Chaska Hawks commits come out and say.
Sanders family got the athletic chain, didn't they?
Yeah, I'd say.
Pretty talented group.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think they're Packers fans.
Unfortunately for me, yes, that's very much the case. Unfortunately for them, I should say, they're not playing against your Chiefs.
Yeah, that would have been a great matchup. I would have preferred that just because of the history with Green Bay and Kansas City, and two of the best places to tailgate in the country, no doubt.
I'll give you a quick update over from Bloomington Jefferson High School. Chaska boys are leading the Jaguar boys by 5 points, 47-42 at the 11.5-minute mark.
You know, when we were ending half, we talked about the Reineke family.
Yep.
And all they've done for Chaska. I want to say Chris was my partner in the travel program for many years. And just really first-class, top-shelf family through and through.
Absolutely.
And a little shout-out to Nicole, who had a hole-in-one here last, I want to say it might not have been last year. Maybe it was 2019.
Yes, I do remember hearing that.
But also a Packer family, but we'll give them a lot of credit. They're pretty cool people.
They absolutely are, except for the fact that they're Packer fans. So. Sorry, Reinekes. Chaska's Heyer will check back out here with 10:44 to go, and Neighbor will check back in, as well as Ashley Schulke, the sophomore. Schulke, I wouldn't be surprised, Blake, to see her playing an increasingly important role here in the next few years.
Yeah, she's really talented. Another Fury player, which is one of the top AAU programs in the state. Must have traveled there, it looks like. Ashley's really talented and works hard. It's fun to watch her play.
Hannah Bach, the sophomore, dishes onside for Emma Phelps now. Swings it back over for Emily Roach for Jefferson. Inside. Back to the wing for Herman. No good. Good box out down low by Hendrickson, and then allows Neighbor to get the rebound. Entry pass for Van Epps.
That's angles, body position, knowing where to hit the backboard. Great play by Kaylee. Great pass.
Munson will check back in at the next dead ball. Roach swings it around for Heeman. Down low for Bach, no good. Rebound by Van Epps. Van Epps driving inside, turnaround for two. Van Epps has got to be approaching double digits, if not already in it.
So I want to follow up. My former friend and player Aaron O'Keefe did text me.
Okay.
Cardiothoracics is really a heart surgeon.
Wow.
Heart doctor. So the cardio, I thought it had to do with heart. The thoracics threw me off. Beyond my pay grade.
Well, Kelsey Williams has definitely got a future ahead of her when and if she decides that basketball is no longer for her. I'd say heart surgeon or heart.
It's pretty impressive.
Yes, absolutely. And to already know that's
right?
what you want to do is pretty impressive. Schulke from the corner couldn't get it to drop. Yes, it was a good look. And with 9 and change to play here, Chaska's up 76-23. Interesting Jefferson squad here tonight. They've had 2 non-conference games. One was a 93-41 loss against Edina, but the next one was a 91-65 win over South St. Paul. So they've shown they can put up points. They've also shown that they can allow some points.
Yeah, it's just a tough matchup when you play the Hawks, isn't it? I mean, it's just it can be demoralizing when you're down. I'm going to test my math skills. 53 points. That's tough, right? But look at the attitudes. I mean, their chins are up. They're not getting flustered, not making those kind of frustration fouls, or they're playing as best they can against what is really a talented Chaska team.
Chaska starting 5 on the bench. Kayla Hendrickson with a hustle play to eliminate the backcourt violation, but it winds up in a turnover anyway, and the basket's waved off. It looked like Roach might have had an and one opportunity, but they call it on the floor, and Bloomington Jefferson has a baseline inbound. Running time here in effect with it being a 53-point lead. Tipped pass out of bounds by Dardis, little sister of former Chaska pitcher Charlie Dardis. Also did a little work for us here on CHBN 2 years ago. Yeah. Another top-notch family, the Dardises.
They really are. I've had the chance to work with Chris before, and Mom Kim. Just top shelf Chaska people for sure.
We could go on and on all night, Blake, about top shelf Chaska families. I think that tells you a little bit of something about the kind of community we've got.
Yeah, it's a great community.
Down low, Roach will inbound for the Jags. Clock running with 7 minutes to play, and Roach is forced to throw it out off of Hendrickson. But Blake, it's something we've seen Chaska do very well tonight, is defend the inbound. We've already had 2 5-second violations and nearly another one there, but a smart play by Roach to eliminate that. Corner 3, Roach just short, rebound by Neighbor.
One of the things I'm seeing, it'd be really easy for Chaska to just pull the ball out, right? And do some ball control, spread it out, 5 out, and run some time off the clock. And what I appreciate about what I'm seeing here is getting deeper on the bench, getting some players on the court, and they are just playing the game. And you got to keep after the game plan. You got to keep after what you're working on in practice. You never know how that's going to play in a game that's going to be tighter and closer and foul trouble. And it's respect for the players and for the coaching staff to keep working on what they need to do.
Talk about that last possession real quick. You might have noticed Anna Lenzen down low missed her first shot, but she outboxed 3 Jaguars to get her own rebound and end up getting Chaska another chance at a basket. I mean, this Chaska team just doesn't give up, and you can't say enough about them. But credit also to Bloomington, because they're definitely not giving up either.
Yep.
They've come out and fought in the second half, and things just aren't going their way tonight. But you can't blame them. I mean, this is a top team. Chaska obviously ranked number 3 out of all Class 4 teams. Schulke for 3.
Nice shot, Ashley.
Dardis given the assist. Longtime Chaska PA announcer Bob Downs and teacher Bob Downs working here tonight. Hendrickson defends Roach, and there's a foul called, and Roach will go for 2.
And coach of the Hawks had some fine players
That's right.
when he coached.
Gives us a chance to remind you that this coming Tuesday, right back here, watch CHBN.com and Chaska Community TV, Channel 14. These Hawks girls are right back here from Chaska High School. Myself and Marnie Gellner from Fox Sports North on the call for that one. A matchup between, as of tonight, the 2 remaining undefeated teams in the Metro West Conference, and Chaska and Cooper. And that'll be a fun one to have Fox Sports North's Marnie Gellner. Obviously a jack of all trades. She does reporting for Twins and Timberwolves. She does play-by-play for the Lynx and a little bit of play-by-play for the Twins in spring training. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun to have her on. We do hope you'll join us next Tuesday. That's this coming Tuesday, I should say. The 9th, Chaska and Cooper right back here on CHBN.
She is one of the best in the business, and pretty cool that she lives in Chaska and has got kids in the youth programs, and she's a wonderful lady.
Anaya Burnett checks in for Chaska, the 5'3"
senior.
Yep.
Yeah, and Anaya's got Mom Keisha Clark, I think, watching tonight, and wanted to give a shout out to her and wish her a happy birthday.
Oh yeah, great. Happy birthday. It's great to see Anaya in the game. She's had 2 big 3-pointers on the Chaska Hawks broadcast network so far this year as Roach pulls up from long range and misses again as we have approached the 3.5-minute mark here at only the 8:08. Just past the top of the hour here in Chaska, Minnesota. And I think the high for today, Blake, was 5 degrees maybe. And coming up, we have below 0 highs for I think 4 days in a row.
So cold.
Yeah, it's cold.
One thing that's not cold is the Hawks offense.
Absolutely. 3:10 to play here.
We're on running time, and which just means, unfortunately, that my time is running out here. This is fun. This is a good time, Ryan.
We do hope that you'll be able to join us again, and obviously there will be. Let's see, this is our third. We got 5 Chaska girls games left, if I'm not mistaken. Down low, high for 2. Burnett the putback.
Nice job, senior. Nice job, Anaya.
We will have a timeout for subs, and gets number 21 into the game. That's Peyton Wirtz, another top-notch family. There we go again, the Wirtzes. But like you said, Blake, it's been great to have you on here. It's been great to have you join us, and
thanks.
We will we'll certainly have you back as you are able.
I want to just call attention to that entry pass. She didn't end up. Jess didn't end up with the basket, but I will tell you that in the last couple of years, I've watched us struggle with that lob entry pass, and it's such an important part of the Hawks' offense to get the ball down in the block, and that pass can not only free her up for whether it's her or Mallory or Kendall or Lily. You get that ball down in the block, team collapses. It opens up great opportunities. They got to get the ball inside. Doesn't mean that they have to finish inside, but that's such an important play, and it's something that in the last couple of years I think they've shown a lot of improvement in those entry passes, whether it's a bounce pass or that lob pass. And then credit to Jess in that situation, holding her body so that she's well positioned to get the pass, and that's something you got to work on in practice. They've done that.
Under 2 to play. Ball goes out of bounds, and it will stick with Chaska. Jefferson going to clean the bench out. And Chaska has had their bench cleared for some time now. Zoe Cutler into the game for the Hawks, as well as Julia Wacker, who inbounds here to Hire. Burnett now at the top of the key. 90 ticks remain. From Chaska High School here. Appreciate you joining us. Do want to remind you that you can watch all of our previous past CHBN productions. Watch CHBN.com. Click on the Game Archives tab. All CHBN events going back to 2016 available for your free viewing pleasure online. Watch CHBN.com. As always, want to thank Brett Johnson for coming out tonight, doing all of our production work. Appreciate his work as always. And Mike Tudor and Kevin Wright at the City of Chaska do a great job getting these games on Channel 14. We do appreciate their work, and those of you watching tonight on Community Cable. Under a minute left, and Wirtz is at the free throw line. Second free throw is good. 2 for 2 as Chaska has eclipsed the 80-point mark here against Jefferson.
I don't want to lose the opportunity again, Ryan, to just applaud all that goes into these broadcasts. And in a time like this that we're all dealing with COVID, to have the community and family members far and close be able to listen in to the greatness that you bring to every broadcast, and the chance to see their family members and friends play the game they love. It means a lot, especially in times like this. So again, nice work.
Thank you.
Much credit to you and the school. And John Summers. Sure.
A lot of people have played a part in getting these games on and out to everybody. And I do want to remind you, if you are looking for lower levels basketball games, you can find those at our website too. Watch CHBN.com. Those are being streamed for the first time ever this year. Game comes to a close here tonight. It's an 83-27 victory for the Chaska Hawks, and they move on to Cooper next week. It'll be their first real test this year, I think, Blake, as the Hawks will play Tuesday night at 7 o'clock.
It's going to be great to see you and Marty bring us all the action and talk us through what hopefully will be another great game. And hopefully the Hawks can come to play.
Absolutely.
I'm sure they will.
It's been great having you on here tonight. Another dominating performance by the Chaska Hawks. 83-27 the final score from Chaska. Do want to thank once again Brett Johnson for coming out. Blake Herring on the commentary tonight. One more reminder, next Tuesday, 7 o'clock, right back here at WatchCHGN.com. Myself and Fox Sports North's Marnie Gellner on the call for Chaska and Cooper. As always, for Blake Herring and Brett Johnson, I'm Ryan Paul saying so long tonight from Chaska High School. It's been a pleasure to join you here on Friday night. It's an 83-27 dominating performance for the Hawks. Have a good night, folks.
Hawks
Soar
and
Hawks.
go Chiefs.